Okay, welcome everyone. We are so glad you're here for our business hangout call tonight. And I know a lot of you guys are really busy with family and your schedule. And so thank you guys so much for taking the time to be here. Okay, so I'm going to be hosting the beginning part of this call tonight. And so I just want to welcome everyone for joining us. There's a few housekeeping items. Please make sure that you are in a quiet, focused spot. And so I know that's hard sometimes with mamas, but these earpieces are really helpful. And just make sure that you're muted until you might be speaking, because we have a few people that are going to be speaking tonight. So you're going to want to grab a pen and a paper, because Heather's going to share with us some really awesome information and statistics about our company and about our industry that I know really blew me away the first time that I heard it. So my name's Nikki Shoemaker, and I'm a platinum with Young Living. I wanted to share with you guys a little bit of my own personal business story. Here, I'm going to mute everybody really quick. Okay, sorry about that. I'm going to share a little bit about my personal business testimony. I actually kind of ended up typing it out because it's really hard to put everything together after all that has happened in our family in a little over 5 years. So bear with me, but I'm going to try to do this as quickly as I can. But I feel really passionate about this, and so I wanted to make sure that I do as good of a job as possible. So here is my business testimony. Okay. Prior to getting started, which it's been about 5.5 years, I was working 2 part-time jobs in order to juggle not having to put my kids in full-time daycare. I loved what I did, but I wanted something that would not only give me fulfillment, but that would allow us to grow financially. So our family lived, we were absolutely living paycheck to paycheck, and we never went on vacation unless it was to visit family, which is great, but my husband would come home just in time to tuck the kids into bed, and he would leave every morning before they ate breakfast. I would take on more roles in my jobs so that I would work more hours, which just added to the stress. So then I started sharing the oils. And I really honestly just started sharing because I wanted to get the oils paid for so that I could get more oils and products. This was January of 2013, and it was my first check was for $45.88. And this just happened to be the same month that I signed up for Essential Rewards. And so that month, my oils were almost fully paid for already. So each month, my paycheck, our family's paycheck, has progressively grown until we were able to start using more oils and more products, which would then allow me to get more freebies as well. And we really started to see our health changing at that point. So we started to grow our community. At that time, we were living in Oklahoma City because our products and our team members are amazing. And word truly just spread like wildfire because people saw what it was doing with my kids and my family. And our team grew really fast, even internationally. And so when the thank you checks from our company more than surpassed what my 2 jobs were making, I was able to quit. And my annual income has continued to grow. And this would never have been possible in my hourly position. So by October 2013, I had hit the rank of executive, and 3 months later in January, I hit the rank of silver. So January 2015, I hit the rank of gold, and then this past fall, I hit the rank of platinum. So just by continuing to share, being consistent, using and loving and being a product of the product, and I just get to tell others how to use oils and how they have benefited us. And Diamond is around the corner, right? Because that's what I'm focusing on. So my husband and I even have gotten to go on a couple of really amazing vacations that would never have happened without Young Living. And so since starting, my why has changed and my focus has changed. When we first got started, it was to take care of my family, to take care of my daughter who was suffering with asthma and allergies. And then it focused on paying off debt. That's what it's been the last couple of years. And now my focus is raising up leaders and helping to change other people's lives within my organization. And the other awesome thing is we get to give to so many more charities of our choice. And so it feels so awesome to be able to write checks and to be able to take care of other people and other children. And that's one of my favorite things as well. So if your dreams don't scare you, you need to dream bigger. This company has the potential to affect so many people's lives. So that's my story. Thank you guys for letting me share. And now I'm going to introduce Heather. Okay. So I get to introduce one of my favorite people, you guys. Seriously, she is one of my favorite people in the entire world. We are so lucky and privileged to be able to hear from her. She has changed so many people's lives, literally thousands of lives she has changed just by having a heart to help others. She has helped people get off medications and to give people hope again. So I cannot imagine a better person to get to share with you over the next few minutes. So please welcome Heather Portwood. Yay.
And thank you guys to all of you that are joining us tonight. I realize that you've taken time out of your busy schedules to be here. And I am just so thankful. So I'm a little bit, probably a lot like Nikki. We actually met living in the same neighborhood, going to the same church. We had the same life, kind of. I mean, and so when I first got started, again, it's the same as Nikki. I had a sick little kid who I needed to figure out I needed to get all the oils as cheaply or as easy as possible. And so for me, I also had a passion for wanting to share with mamas the tools that I had learned that really helped, because we'd been to pediatric pulmonologists, allergy specialists, all types of things. And just basically the meds were the only thing that were addressed. It wasn't nutrition. It wasn't anything else. And so I just started sharing with people strictly because I wanted to help people. And so it was not like most of us did not start this to start a business. But so from that, my story prior to was just my husband's income working a family business was extremely low. We ate ramen all the time. I mean, that's where we were. I would not have a lot of play dates over at my house because I didn't know when my electricity was going to get shut off, or when that stupid vehicle from the government's going to drive by and turn my water off. I mean, this was my life, and I didn't know how it was going to change. And I had been I went to college, but I never finished because I wanted to do musical theater and, how do you make money from that? But really I just wanted to be a wife and a mom. And so when this opportunity came, again, I didn't start it to do the business, but I really wanted to start sharing to get my oils paid for. And that is where it all started, because I remember getting my first $300 check. And that's when I could get all the freebies that were offered that Young Living does. We'll talk about that a little bit more later, of what they offer free each month. And we just started from there. We started switching over products that were that I would normally buy at Target and getting, from Young Living. So tonight we are going to talk about how to get free products, get your products paid for, and what we call the accidental paycheck. We will also be hearing from a couple other of our leaders tonight. And last but not least, we're going to open up an opportunity for any of you that have questions. Since you have some leaders here on live, we would love to take time out to spend to answer your questions personally. So let's go ahead and get started with the call. So we have placed ourselves in an industry that is explosive, with over $1 billion in annual revenue, and it's growing each year and actually showing no signs of slowing down. We are a 23-year-old debt-free company, and we are currently doing business in over 20 countries. And just to name a few, Oman, Japan, Australia, and Singapore. With tens of thousands of representatives internationally, we have satisfied clients all over the world. And because of their satisfaction, they actually refer business back to us on a monthly basis. So we've also been in a number of publications, and just to name a few, HGTV, InStyle, and Us Weekly. The name of our company is Young Living. We were founded by Gary Young, who is an amazing man, and he's a farmer at heart. He had actually broken his back and was paralyzed, and he found the oils to help with pain and in his recovery. Recently, this is crazy. I mean, we all love Gary. We love Gary, but just recently he finished a 200-mile dog sled race in the Caribou Hills, which was astounding. He and his wife, Mary, they met each other later in life, and they used the oils to actually deliver their first baby with Mary at the age of 54 and her second baby at the age of 58. It's a family-run business, and we get to partake in it. Young Living is the world leader in therapeutic essential oils. The trend is prevention, and we are on the cutting edge with products that are 100% money back guaranteed. And by helping people every day to look younger, lose weight, have more energy, and live longer, this industry has created more millionaires than any other business in history, and it's projected to actually double within the next 10 years. So how many of you know people who are concerned with these issues? Health and wellness. Yep. People are more concerned with health than ever before. From sleep, energy, cleaning, and even sex, we have something for everyone. So how many of you like door-to-door sales and telemarketing? Well, that's okay. We're not doing that here. You can be, relieved with that. So let me ask you, how many of you can read? Or how many of you can pass out a catalog, watch a video? All right, you're all qualified. You can all do this. So did you actually know, this was astounding when I first found this out, 30,000 people a day are looking for a home-based business. We have scripts, marketing tools that market the product for you. We have a compensation system that is dramatically affecting the lives of thousands of people worldwide. While learning to transfer the chemicals out of our home, we can have healthier kids, healthier animals, our life, our home. Even, maybe you need an extra $500 a month. What would you do with that? We have people in our industry that with no previous experience, mine included, I didn't have any experience before this, got started sharing, and at a part-time level started making $30,000, $50,000, and even $100,000 their first few years of just helping people. So by maximizing the compensation plan, we can do a couple of things. We get to earn free trips, which several of us have been on, which are amazing. A lot of tax write-offs. You can choose who you get to work with. And that is a hallelujah and amen, because these women that I have found myself, by none other than just, they signed up, they loved oils, and they started sharing. I mean, we are like this. It's like a community, a bond. Closer than a lot of BFF relationships that I have. So you get to choose who you get to work with. It's actually really fun and enjoyable. And you can actually will your business off to a loved one, after the fact, which is really, really, like a safety net and very comforting. So in joining this toxic-free movement before you hit a crisis is key. You can actually also get a 24% savings, no monthly requirement, and no additional fees. Can you still hear me? Okay. No additional fees. So next, what most people do is they start off with the premium start kit. This is where we all started, and it's really, kind of the top 11 oils that all of us could easily transition into, put in our medicine cabinet and get rid of a lot of the majority of the toxic stuff. So start with the top kit. with a free diffuser. That's a 55% discount. And so if you are thinking of someone that you wished were on this call, maybe your mom, your sister, or your kids, you can invite them the next time we do this to take a look and let them decide if it will work for them or not. They may be ready. They may be as desperate as we were. I was desperate. I had no crunchy natural issue, nothing. I just was desperate to help my baby, and someone gave me a bottle of peppermint, and I used it, and it helped. So there are a lot of desperate and hurting people. And so, all of us can talk about these things genuinely and at a heartfelt, point, because it's helped us. We've seen the results. We have the testimonies. Okay. And also, nobody has time for migraines. You guys, people are sick and hurting, and, we have an answer that could potentially help. And when you share with at least 3 people, you can actually get your investment back for your kit. So that's another thing. We want to help you get your investment back. We want to help you share, because that's how how I can reach people that I don't know, is by who and we all want people to use oils. So also we do, sorry, I went on a little tangent. Plus you will make a 25% back for 3 months and a one-time bonus of $25. Then you get 8% for life. And only 7% of our members, like our enrolled members, ever even share. Only 7%. So it's simply for a lot of reasons, but mainly because they don't know how to, or they don't have access to calls and training like what we can give and share with you all. So let's talk a little bit about free. This month with our monthly promo, this is actually what I loved about sharing and about Young Living was I slowly, the $50 for Essential Rewards was really hard for me too at the beginning. I didn't know, all I knew is I wanted peppermint and RC because that's what helped us with respiratory stuff. But as I started finding out and researching more about triggers with respiratory issues, I needed to get rid of the toxic cleaning stuff. I needed to get rid of my candles. I needed to get rid of Febreze. And so Young Living's, promos each month was an opportunity for me to first try it out and also start, buying from the company that I loved and trust versus, going to Target and buying all the toxic, junk that we normally put in our baskets. So this month, you get a free lemon, a free Thieves dish soap, Thieves household cleaner, a bottle of Citrus Fresh, which is amazing, and a bottle of Hope. So these are all free this month with 300 PV order. And again, I know a lot of us can tell you that it took us time to reach the $300 Essential Rewards order, but it has been well worth it, believe me. So moving on. Now we're going to go a little bit onto the accidental paycheck, which the majority of us have all experienced, which has been completely exciting to also receive. So, and this is how many of us moms have been able to stay at home with our kids, because this is actual real residual income. So by helping others kick out toxins out, just like we've been talking about, that's what the majority of our passions were to help, teach you all to get rid of the toxins and things like that, and support our bodies and our children. And then get your oils paid for. And then actually by doing this, you will reach the first leadership position and make a bonus of $150 a month. And so at this time, I would like to have some of our leaders share just their personal experience, their business testimony, and kind of let us know what their accidental paycheck or what they did and have done with their Young Living paycheck. So let's see. Jenna, are you on? Can you unmute yourself?
Hi. Can you hear me? Sorry, I've got the kids. It's the middle of bedtime. You can't hear me? I'm unmuted. Nikki?
Yep, I can hear you.
You hear me?
Yes.
You good? Hi. Okay. Sorry, we're kind of in the middle of bedtime routine. So, but yeah, so when I first got started with Young Living, this is Jenna from Utah. It used to be Oklahoma City. Definitely missing my Oklahoma people. But I got started because I was a hormonal wreck who felt like I was losing control of my family's health, my health, emotions, all that kind of stuff. And so when I first got started, it was, okay, this is to help me. This is to make me feel better. I'm not telling anybody about it because there's no way this stuff's going to work. And I don't want to be the crazy oil lady. So that was my original thought process. And then it fell into place. And my husband was like, Jenna, you're buying this stuff every month. Like, why aren't you telling people about it? And I'm like, well, you're right. For instance, my son hasn't gone to the bathroom today. Just put diapers on him 10 minutes ago and he needs his diaper changed. Why am I not telling other moms about this, And so I just started sharing like how I would tell people about TEDs and I would tell people about, different clothing stores. And my first month, I held a class and just invited friends over and said, hey, come learn with me. This is super fun. Come play. And I got my oils paid for that month. It was $100 order. And then as like Heather had said, I started realizing that my family's healthier when we don't have the chemicals in our home. So we started doing what we call ditching and switching. So instead of buying my toothpaste at Walmart, I bought it through Young Living and I got points back and it was really cool. And so now, after just sharing and I've been doing it for a couple of years, but really only like looking at it like a real business, for less than a year now. And, I get my $300 order paid for, which fills all of my cabinets in my house, and then some. And then I get to put more towards debt and I get to, help my husband with different things. So it's not all on his plate and the stress and all that. So, Young Living has just been such a blessing. And I get to be mom. Mm-hmm. I get to be here at, bedtime, putting my kids to sleep while on the phone doing a business call. So I feel very, very blessed that not only is my family the healthiest that I could have ever imagined, but I have the tools and I have the financial blessing to be able to stay home. I mean, I'm on track to replace my teaching income within the next couple of months. Awesome. So big blessing. And it's great working with people like you guys. Absolutely love Nikki and Heather. You guys are absolutely amazing. So thank you for your leadership.
Thank you, Jenna. Appreciate that. Heather, do you want to hop on? Unmute.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, good. Hey, everyone. I'm Heather Tisserand. Thank you, Nikki and Heather, for having this tonight. It's great. And I agree with Jenna. They're amazing. If you have any questions, always just go to them because they have all the answers. Well, usually they have all the answers. So my story, I think, is just a little bit different in the fact that I won't go into like my whole oily story, but I was a total skeptic. I'll tell you that. My kiddo had an asthma attack at football practice, and one of the other moms there came over with her bottle of lavender, and I rolled my eyes at her, and then she saved the day. And so basically, I got my kit the very next day, and my life with my kids completely transformed. However, my husband was like, you are a voodoo witch doctor, and I can't with you. He thought I had bought snake oils and, he just thought I was nuts. But he did see them working for the kids. And one night he got a migraine, and somewhere I had run across a migraine protocol recipe. And it was like a witch's brew, you guys, no joke. It was like 2 drops of Valor on the earlobes and 1 drop of frankincense on the crown of the head, and do this with the roof of your mouth and put these on the big toe. And it was like 20 oils, all different ways, and they were strange. And he was like, what are you doing to me? And then 20 minutes later, his migraine was gone. And so he's like, I only will call you witch doctor in the, lovingest of ways from now on. And so that migraine happened in like October, and it was October a year after I had started using the oils. I was a total closet oiler, completely a closet oiler, because I was one of those people that rolled my eyes at all of my friends that had found out about the oils and were living the good life. And I was like, not for me. I'm fine with my albuterol and Advil and all of those things, right? And so anyway, long story short, I guess, I had a successful business already. I owned an Etsy shop, and it was my creative outlet. And I homeschooled my kids till middle school. Then when they went to middle school, I started my Etsy shop. And it was really successful, and I loved doing it. And I had like a following of almost 7,000 people on social media, and it was great, except for I did not have human interaction with anyone. I would create eat letters were the thing that was most popular in my shop. They were like distressed letters, and I would paint those and distress them and ship them literally all over the country and never hear back from anyone unless they got damaged in the mail. Never I love my eat letters. Thank you so much. They hang proud in my kitchen. And it was like hard for me because I wanted to know if people enjoyed what I made for them. I wanted to know that it didn't end up in a closet somewhere and didn't bring them joy. And I only got heat cases. So the personal interaction there was totally missing. And then one day, my best friend Benji, he's like, he had gotten the oils. I had at least confided in my best friend that I was using the oils. And at first he bought some crap oils, and he came over to DIY some stuff, and he's like, wait a minute, this doesn't smell anything like your oils. And so he got on board with Young Living, and he said, let's teach a class for the heck of it. Let's just teach a class. And I was like, okay, I'm down. And so one night we sat at my dining room table late, wrote a little script, a couple of facts about each of the oils in the starter kit, invited all of our friends. And let me say, my sponsor doesn't necessarily work the business. She didn't know I was going to teach a class. I had never even been to a class. I had watched a couple of webinars, but I'd never been to an in-person class. So that first day we taught we called it drugstore class, totally non-compliant, by the way, because I knew no better. And we had 17 people there, and everyone signed up. And I was just like, whoa, okay. Wasn't really expecting that at all. That was in December of 2015. And so in January, I had made the decision that I was going to go at Young Living full force. I had no idea what I was doing, but I made the determination that I'm going to put Etsy on the back burner, and I'm going to run at Young Living and see what I can make happen. So I wasn't coming at it from the I need the money standpoint, though, which is different than a lot of people. My husband and I early on somehow did Dave Ramsey and were debt-free early on in our marriage. And we ate ramen noodles and beans and things like that too to get that way. So I know the struggle. But he has a successful business, and I've always been blessed to stay at home. And so my reason for doing it was really I wanted to help people. And in about 3 months, I hit executive, and I was like, okay, I heard somebody say, what's your why? And I was like, huh? What? What do you mean? Well, why are you doing this? And I'm like, because I love it. Well, there needs to be more, because you'll have some hard days and you need to know why you're doing this. So I really started thinking, and my why, another long story short, is I was in an abusive relationship for a period of time in my life, and it took me scrounging together enough money to go to counseling and find a counselor that sat there and I told my story, and she said, you're worthy of so much more than that, and that you are enough, and you don't have to live this way, and there's such a thing as boundaries, and so on. And it radically changed my life. And so my why became, I want to be able to give to programs like the YWCA, that is the only women's shelter for battered women in Oklahoma City, in Oklahoma County. And I wanted to be able to pay for women that were in my position to go get counseling, whether I know them or not. I just want to pay their bill so they can go hear what I heard that day that totally changed my life. So that is my why. And so I give most of my money, at least, about 70% of it goes to the YWCA. I sponsor their 5K, their Galentine's, their Purple Sash Gala, and I volunteer there also. And then the rest of it I put back towards my Young Living Order and resources for my team, and it's been amazing. I've always made enough to cover my order and give back since I started. I made executive in 3 and silver in 6, and am getting close to gold. So it's been the coolest journey, and something I didn't even know I needed, but I needed it. I needed to have validation. I needed a pat on the back. I needed to feel like I was doing something for myself. And I don't know if any of you sitting out there need that, but a lot of stay-at-home moms do, because our kids don't pat us on the back for doing laundry well. They just don't. So that's my story. Thank you guys for listening.
Thank you so much, Heather. And I can tell you that's something that I never expected either through this, but it's just, I don't know, unlike any type of, you hear the term tribe or community, but it really is something special that, I think we all have experienced in it. So thank you so much for sharing. I really appreciate that. I love your heart so much.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Let's see, Marcy, you want to share with us?
Yes and no. I'm a little nervous.
Yes and no.
My little yellow comes out every once in a while.
It's all right.
Okay. Thank you, Heather and Nikki. This is awesome. All right. I got started 4.5 years ago because I had been searching for answers for my son for 3.5 years. I was a labor and delivery nurse on a flight team. Money wasn't the issue. The issue was not finding my answers, and I was desperate. I had gone to every ologist, every person. I worked with the best of the best. I was in Houston. I have the Mecca of Texas Children's. I have the ologists that people come from around the world, but nobody could help my son. And our life had stopped. So I tried Young Living as a last ditch effort, not thinking it would work. I didn't think it would work at all. So lo and behold, of course it did, right? Much better than the bleach baths I was told to try. Go figure. It was amazing. So as soon as it worked, I was telling everybody, because I had coworkers and friends and family that had lived this life with me and knew my story and knew my struggle and knew that I had the bubble boy that couldn't go out without many precautions. It was so, as soon as I realized it worked, I was on the phone and was going and seeing people, and I was telling everybody, if you have that's better. So I could hit executive really quick, like 2 or 3 months. I think my first paycheck was like $50, and then the next one was like $400, and then $800, $900 after that. It just snowballed because I couldn't shut up. And I would talk to the lady at the park. I would talk to the lady at Target. I would talk to anybody that had any issue anywhere, anytime. Like, I got your hand.
Did she cut out for everybody else?
Yeah, shoot.
I left.
Oh, there you are. Okay, good.
Sorry. Okay, where did I leave you off at?
You just said you
went to Target, Marcy. You just went to Target.
I love Target. Target's amazing. I would seriously run into everybody. There's something about your vibe attracts your tribe, right?
Yep.
Because I would run into every mom that had my kid. I would run into everybody that had my issue. And I I was really terrible about sharing truly in the beginning, because I just told them, I'm like, here, take a bottle of lavender. And I didn't get contact info or anything. I just wanted them to have what they needed so desperately. So I started the business. I did it terribly at the beginning. That's the truth. I just spilled it for everybody because I felt like if I didn't share, it was a disservice to everybody else. I had to share. It was selfish of me to hold this golden nugget and not share this answer, this miracle that I had been given. And that's how I viewed it as. It was just a miracle. And if I didn't share it, I was a selfish, horrible person for keeping somebody one day sick longer. So money wasn't an issue at first. I was working as a nurse. I was making great money as a flight nurse. It was wonderful. And then I moved, quit my job when I moved, because I moved from Houston to San Antonio. Money still wasn't necessarily an issue, but along the way it became an issue. So I was so grateful for Young Living at that point, because I'd been sharing, and it buffered through 3 of my 4 moves. I moved that many times in that time. I did get training. I went with Heather to First Steps to Success, and that started my true business training. So I got a little more refined. What I loved about this business is that it has refined me. It's refined me as a person. It's refined me as a mother. It's refined me as what I believe. And I have learned so much about how the body actually works, how it actually functions, and how you can actually attain true health. So there's been a few times where I've come up to, do I want to work as a nurse again? Do I want to take that on? Do I want to take that on and help people that way? And the door is solidly shut there. I feel like my call is here. So Young Living has given me wellness, purpose being a huge thing to my life, and abundance. It has propelled me further than I ever could have been as a nurse, further than I ever could have been as a mom, and further than I ever could have been as a friend. It has been more than I ever imagined when I signed up for that kit.
You just did amazing, Marcy. Don't you ever be shy and tell me you're nervous.
Well, I am, but
well, I mean,
I'm just staring at you the whole time.
Yeah, well, you just stare at me because that was really good. I mean, your story, I mean, and that's another thing that I just love about this business, is that I would never have known a lot of you had it not been from, Young Living and sharing. And now I've been connected to some of the most important people in my entire life. So, sorry, I don't want to get, thank you, Marcy, for sharing. Thank you guys so much for sharing. Those were amazing, amazing stories. So let's go on to the next spot, which is huge for a lot of people who needs a vacation. I'm on vacation every single day because I love my occupation. Okay, sorry. So that's one thing that we get to do as, Young Living, is go on trips. And I just recently got back from Ecuador in November, and I had won a free trip to go to the Young Living Foundation, which is a school that we actually support. Young Living supports the school in Ecuador. And sorry, I lost my screen, but that's okay. So going on free trips, we have farms all over the world. A couple of years ago, I had the privilege to go to Europe and Croatia and see the farm there. A lot of us have gone to see the farms in Utah and Idaho. I mean, they're just amazing, amazing trips, and, seeing the farms and being with each other and people that we've built relationships with that maybe aren't in our group, but maybe, cross-line groups that we call it. It's just been so, so fun. So even as our top leader, what? Okay, sorry. I had a kid knocking on the door saying, "Be quiet," because I was with the baby up. Okay, so, sorry. So we're going to move on a little bit now, and I'm going to show you something that's really kind of dynamic because this is really important when you're looking at a home-based business. So let's take a look at this slide, and you will see $900 to the right side of the circle, and that's your personal bonus as the top leader. Below that, you'll see 6 circles, and this is all that is needed to actually reach the top. These circles represent things like, people like your friends and your family, people that you've helped make a first leadership called silver, which we've kind of gone through that scenario here tonight with, Nikki, helping somebody in between Heather and her to help Heather reach silver, and the same that I've done with Marcy is there's been somebody in between she and I that actually we've worked together and she's hit silver. So, it's fun too. And then you can see another $900. The second slide is now you're going to see 6 more circles, and that's showing each new leader who you have helped to hit silver. And that's 36 and an additional $5,400 per month. So if we add all of this together, and that's 900 and 900 plus 5,400 for a total of 7,200 monthly payout. So if we do that one more time, just to show you, that would make your team a total of 216 members on the right. And that's $32,400 a month. And then again, you add that to the above. So we could go on and on and on with some of the leaders in this industry who make this. But can you just see the amazing potential in this right now just from seeing that? But if you're like me and you're sitting there and you're thinking, I could never do this. Even if you failed by 99.99%, at a 99.99% failure rate, you would still actually be making millions if you just followed this system. So what if it took you 10 to 20 years to do it? Would it be worth it? I know for a lot of us, there's a book called The 4-Year Career. It's taken, me about 5 years to make an income that I could not even really dream about, actually. So did you actually did you also know that even if you shared with one person a month and taught them to do the same, in 12 months, you'd have over 4,000 members in your group. And if they all ordered just $50, that would be about $200,000 in volume, which is your gross sales. So at this time, I would like to open up and see if there are any questions that we have from you all. And I can't really see, Nikki, if you can help me. So if you want to raise your hand or unmute yourself, just because you have a lot of leaders on this call, and we would love to take this time to pour into you and to, answer some questions that you might have.
I have a question. Hi.
Hello.
So I have some flip kits, and I don't know, Heather, if you know this, but I live in an APO in Korea, and so things are a little different with that to begin with.
Okay.
But so I'm kind of working through all of that. But I was curious, how many flip kits do you guys offer in one class? Like just one, or like?
I honestly, this is what I would go back and forth because I am so sensitive to the financial stuff. I have only ever had 1 or 2 max.
Okay.
Now that we're doing a huge, monthly meeting where, anywhere from 50 to 100 attend, I am contemplating getting more. But that has just been something that, I have wanted to use that as something that can be duplicated. And so I personally have only ever had 1 or 2.
Okay.
Yeah. Same with me too. And I feel the same. If I were to have a really large event, then I would look into having more available at that time. But I feel like 1 or 2 is great. And then it kind of creates a sense of urgency of like, oh, there's only 1 or 2. Like if you had 10, then it'd be like, oh, I'll just go to Angie whenever I can, so. But.
Okay. Yeah. I think I've kind of made that mistake a little bit just with how do you say it?
Duplication, being duplicatable.
Yeah,
sure.
being duplicated. Anyway.
We all do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean.
So, because I think when I first got because I had to do some rogue shipping to even get some flip kits here, kind of illegally. So when I got them, I had like 5 of them, and I was so excited because they were stateside kits, and that we couldn't get otherwise. And so I was like, I did a video in my group about, hey, setting up a 101 class, and I regret now, and especially listening to you guys, I regret actually displaying those and saying, hey, I've got these kits that are available, and for my class, and trying to go through a simple how to set up a 101 class, and I didn't even recognize it in the moment. But now in hindsight, I'm like, oh, dang, like anybody who hasn't even approached the business side yet would look at that and go, holy cow, like, how can I do that? Sure. And so, but I haven't really.
You definitely don't want to look like you're peddling product. I think that's one of the first things, because forever, I just was trying to order enough for, I have 6 kids. So for all of our, money went back into family and ordering, but I did do Arbonne, and I did have to peddle product. And it was something that I just, I didn't want to do anymore. And I understand, I understand what you're talking about, but I would say probably kind of refocusing that, and just, sometimes it's okay to just be like, I don't have any. I don't have any. Sorry. I mean, maybe,
Yeah, I think I let my excitement speak over logic.
Sure.
And it happens.
And it happens, girl. Absolutely. And it is totally fine. Yeah. No, it's all good. I mean,
we've all done it once, 10 times, 20
exactly.
times.
Yes. And that story, you're going to be able to teach your members from it. So it's all good. It's so good to see you, girl.
Sorry, I'm like so emotional.
I want to hug you. Oh, Angie.
I just feel like, I feel like I need to work through some failure and work through my approach. So I really appreciate you guys so much.
We appreciate you, girl. It's so good to see you. No, I mean, you had a huge move. And that is, and then you're trying to adjust and figure out, how to do things in a totally different country. And so, I mean, girl, we all fail forward every single day. Like I do every single day. And so I just feel like every time that I make a mistake, I'm going to learn from it. But then I'm also going to teach my team what I just did. And it's like, I mean, it's just like being a mom, it's like, we're going to teach our kids and be like, yeah, when I was in the 6th grade, I did X, Y, and Z, and it wasn't very smart. You can make that mistake again, but let me just teach you, so, but it's all good. You are such an amazing, amazing educator. I have asked Angie to come within my group and teach my group multiple times. And if you are on Angie's team, you are so incredibly blessed to have her, because she's an amazing educator, and she's teaching from the other side of the world to her team here in the United States. So that takes such dedication, and you have such a huge heart, and you're going to go so far, girl. So don't worry.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm being such a crybaby right now.
It's okay.
If you only knew how many times some of us have called our, sponsor or our leadership, and just, this is totally, you are more than welcome. We have all been there, and you will be, you're just amazing, and you'll get out of it.
Yep.
But it's part of it also is part of the growth.
Yes.
And so once you hit this spot, you can be darn sure that you're headed for the next.
Yep.
Because it has to happen.
Yes.
So
I
not that
agree.
I'm thankful that you're a crying mess, because I have been there too. And it's, it's hard, but you're not a failure. It's, you're only a failure if you quit.
Yep.
And I can tell you that that's probably, I have a lot of people asking me, because I'm a kind of the personality that doesn't really do best with this type of thing. But I just didn't quit.
Yeah.
That's my only claim to any type of fame, is I just didn't quit. I wanted to share with people. I wanted moms to have the tools, and that's what has, so just, this is part of the process, and I'm thankful you're on it.
Yeah.
So
I'm
thankful.
thankful for each of you, and I glean from you guys all the time. And I think that just there's a season for, accepting our failures and accepting our process. And today, it just some things hit me, and just Nikki's peppermint tangerine video that she did.
Yeah.
She posted with the
Feelings
Lindsay.
and
Lindsay,
Lindsay Vermont.
it really hit home with me, and I'm like,
Yeah.
wow, I need to embrace that, and just so I'm happy just to be here on this call today, and just
So awesome.
I'm uplifted by everything you're saying, and so thank you. Don't want to take up much
you're
time.
great.
I appreciate you guys.
Hugs, girl.
Thank you,
It's so
Angie.
good to see your face, Angie, by the
Good to see you
way.
guys. Hi, Heather.
All right. Who else? Anybody else have any questions? Jenna?
Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you kind of answered my question. I feel like this would be your first response, so I want your second response. Heather, Nikki, any of you who have kind of really made it through the ranks, Marcy, what if you could go back and tell your starting person, that person like you, just kind of get the vision and you get super excited and you see the potential in it. So if you could go back to that what would you tell them going forward? Now that you've hit platinum and diamond and things like that, what would you say to them to, do you get what I'm saying?
Them. I think for me, it's going back to what we've learned, some of you may not know, but learning the personalities, but the majority of the people that I have come in contact with, they want to help people.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter what the personality or the gym or whatever it is, but I don't know, just helping people, that they can help people. Nikki, I feel like we
want
had
to add to this one, because this is one that tripped me up huge. So as a nurse, I went to school, right?
Mm-hmm.
I got my degree, and then I got on-the-job training in addition to that, into my specialty. So I chose to invest in education there. When I got into this business, which is network marketing, I didn't think I needed that.
Mm-hmm.
And that was my biggest mistake, is realizing I needed that education and that refinement just as much, and to pour into that business mindset, because I was not a business person. I was an employee.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to switch that mindset that I am now a business person and I need business training.
Yes.
And investing in that, refine that.
Yes.
Great point.
Nikki, what about you? Whenever you started teaching people, because Nikki used to teach Bradley, which is pregnancy. Was there a way that you could connect with people whenever you were doing that, or working at the school?
Yeah. For me, it's all about the personal development growth, because even as an educator for 7 years with childbirth that I loved and I was super passionate about, I didn't need a whole lot of personal development, even though I was kind of owning my own job in that. It wasn't like I was guiding people through their lives, or helping them to lead their own businesses and being up in front of thousands of people, or whatever. And so for me, it was getting more personal development first and like faster, I guess. And then just refining it, just like what Marcy said. I completely agree. If you're going to take it like a business, you need to go through some training, and you need to invest in yourself, just like you need to invest in your business. And it's exciting because it shows that you're taking ownership of it. Because if you treat it like a hobby, you're going to get paid like a hobby, you know, and it's fine if you want to just, you know, make some extra cash here and there. But if you really want to own this and change your lives and change other people's lives, you need to take it like a business, and you need to get personal training and business training. And now I hire people to help, like, just like you do with your taxes, I'm hiring people to help train me, and I'm hiring people in different parts of my lives to help refine me in different ways. And I'm going to trainings, you know, and all these things, but I like that. And it feels really fulfilling. So that's what I would say.
And I'll say one thing too, Jenna, a lot of it is just kind of what you've learned and what we've gone, it's by example.
Yeah.
And so it might not necessarily be what you can say to them, but they look at you and they see you're different. They see you've changed. They see, I mean, you've paid off a heck of a lot of debt.
Yeah.
I mean, that is freaking amazing. I mean, so it may not be something that you necessarily say to them that inspires them, but just continuing to do what you do to better yourself and to help. I mean, you have some amazing leaders that are rising up, and they're coming up because of your leadership.
Yeah.
And so I would just, you know, commend you and encourage you that, you know, what you are doing is working. It really is. It's just, you know, sometimes there's seasons that are slower. And I mean, I didn't have my first builder for 3 years. You know, that I didn't have my first, you know, person who said, I want to do this with you for 3 years. So it's just, you know, but you're doing an amazing job. Absolutely amazing.
Thank you. Those are great answers, guys.
Because we're experts.
You've already gone down the path.
Yeah, we try. We do our best.
Failing forward.
Thank you, Jenna. Yeah, failing forward on our face.
Yeah.
I'll add something. It's a little bit different, but remember how I said, like, for a year of using oils, I was in the closet with them, too ashamed or scared to tell anyone because I thought people would think I was crazy, like my husband did, and I thought everyone would. So since I recognize that about myself, and there's nothing at all to be ashamed about, when I teach classes on my little note-taking sheet, down at the bottom, there's a little box that says, who did you think of during this class? And so I'm trying to teach them as I'm teaching, whoever they're thinking about, write that down, and then don't be afraid to share that, because that's my biggest regret. If I were to go back and say, what would I have done differently? I wouldn't have waited a year to share.
Yep. That's a good tip for sure.
It's so good, Heather.
I'm doing that. It's great.
Awesome. Yeah.
Anybody else have a question? You see anybody, Nikki? I can't see anybody. Nope.
Nope.
You sure? Nobody else? All right. Well, I want to thank. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say this has been amazing, and I just thank everybody for their vulnerability. I thank Heather for her time and for her leadership. You guys, we are really, really blessed and lucky to be able to have her. And I thank everyone that took the time to be on this call. I thank your husbands and your kiddos for letting you be away, or not letting you, but, you know, just encouraging you to be here. And I just really encourage you guys to keep pressing forward. If you're brand new, I really encourage you to get with the person that invited you to this class and really, like, lean into it and be open to it, because it has changed all of our lives. So it's always good.
Yeah. No, it's super. I mean, this has been super simple. And you don't have to be a super trainer, and you don't have to be a motivator. You don't have to be a salesperson. You don't have to be extremely successful. All you have to do is provide a desire, a commitment, and time and effort to develop your business. And if you've listened to anything that you've heard tonight about our company, You've heard live testimonials, and we do, as a group, we, can tell we support each other. We love each other. We really want to see each other succeed at this, and really want to see our efforts tripled so that we can really teach people about oils and getting oils in every home. And so whether or not you feel like you want to get your oils paid for or get your investment back, or if you would like to save money on shipping using our Essential Rewards program, or you want to go all in and you want to transform your home and help as many people as possible. And again, I just want to reiterate what Nikki said. We're so thankful that you took the time out tonight to join us. And please do get with the person that invited you to this call if you're not already a member, or if you just need some more support. And we are so thankful that you've joined our family in a mission to transform our homes, our bodies, and our finances so that we can actually live longer, healthier, and live a happier life. And just thank you so much, and welcome to our team and our group, and congratulations. And we will follow up with you all, and you all have an amazing, amazing night.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.